What's going on, everybody? It's Sasha, your licensed real estate market expert here in Charlotte. Today, we're going to be talking about the best neighborhoods to live in Charlotte under $500,000. Now, this list that I'm going over with you guys, this is not the end all be all list. This is a list that I made based off of what kind of came to my head when thinking about neighborhoods, when thinking about houses under $500,000. I'm not sure how many of you would watch a 2, 3, maybe even 4 hour video of me literally going over every single neighborhood in Charlotte and the surrounding areas under 500,000. But I wanted to make this video because it's going to be a very good starting point for you no matter where you are in your home search journey. Now, these last couple of years, not only have first-time home buyers been affected by these prices, everybody has. And sometimes when people reach out to me, sometimes I almost get like a sense of desperation. Like, I have $400,000. Why can't I buy a home? Why can't I find a nice neighborhood in a nice house that's relatively move-in ready in my price point? Yes, things have gone up, but there's so many nice neighborhoods out there, and I'm going to show you guys a couple of them, and hopefully this will help you kind of get to a little starting point. And again, if you have questions about any of these neighborhoods, any other neighborhoods that might be similar and or in a different area, maybe a different price point, you guys can always call, text, or email me anytime. I'm always here to help you and answer any questions that you may have. Now, with that being said, let's just jump right into it. Again, we're going to go over 7 to 10 different neighborhoods that I think are going to be a good starting point for you. And keep in mind, even though I'm going over these prices, most of these neighborhoods have houses in the neighborhood that is above 500,000, but that is a good thing. You always want to be surrounded by houses that are priced higher than yours, because if their value goes up, your value also goes up with that. So with that being said, the first neighborhood that I have special ties to because I own a house here and unfortunately will be moving soon, it is Sardis Forest. Sardis Forest is located in 28270. We are right on the border of Charlotte and Matthews. Some of the houses in this neighborhood are located in Matthews, and some of them are located in Charlotte. In regards to location, it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to get to Center City Uptown. I'm 5 minutes away from downtown Matthews. I have grocery stores nearby. I have McAlpine Creek Greenway. I have Squirrel Park. There's so much stuff here. And one of my favorite things about the neighborhood is the houses. A lot of traditional brick style homes. Neighborhood has sidewalks. There's always people out walking their dogs. Very minimal HOA. The HOA is $200 per year, depending on where you live. And we do have a pool. However, the pool fees and things like that are separate. So if you want to spend the extra money to sign up for the pool and use those facilities where they do a lot of events, where the whole neighborhood gets together, you have food trucks that come in there. They do barbecues on Memorial Day, on the 4th of July, and things like that. But that's a separate thing. You're not mandated, you're not obligated to pay for that. It's only in addition to. Now, most of the homes here in Sardis Forest were starting to get built in the late 70s to the late 80s. So they are a little bit of older homes, but that's one of the reasons you get essentially an established neighborhood already. Most of the houses that you see pop up in the market are going to be between $450,000 to $500,000. The median price point in Sardis Forest is $508,000, with the average being $506,000. Sardis Forest was actually voted the number 5 best neighborhood to buy a house in all of Charlotte, according to niche.com as well. So in regards to these houses, they're typically going to be 14 to 1500 plus square feet. On that lower end of 450, you're going to be looking at a 3-bedroom, and as soon as you start getting closer to 500,000, you're going to be closer to that 4-bedroom, 1800 plus square feet. However, I made a video a couple of months ago showing you a house in Sardis Forest that was listed at $410,000, which was an absolute steal. Unfortunately, it's not available now. Sardis Forest is definitely a neighborhood you should keep your eyes on. Secondly, right across the street is Sardis Woods, which is another neighborhood that is really great to look into. This one was actually voted the 22nd best neighborhood to buy a house in Charlotte. Now, in all honesty, in my opinion, Sardis Forest is a little nicer than Sardis Woods. However, the good news is Sardis Woods is a little bit cheaper when you're comparing the prices. So the median price point for single family homes in Sardis Woods is $431,000, with the average being $441,000. These houses were built a little bit before Sardis Forest, so they were built in the early 70s to about the mid 80s. And here, there's houses on the market right now, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 1,500 plus square feet in the low 400s. Some of them might need a little bit of cosmetic work, but you're getting so much for the house in regards to the neighborhood. You're surrounded by a lot more expensive homes. You still have the amazing location. You have really nice lot sizes, and they also have a lot of ranch style homes in Sardis Woods as well. Within that mid 450 price range, you're looking at anywhere from 1,400 to 2,000 square feet or so. And again, you do have houses listed over 500, but I want to focus more on the houses in the $400,000 range. Sardis Woods is definitely a neighborhood you should keep on your radar should a house pop up in the low 400s. Next up, we're going to go a little further south, heading to Indian Trail. 28079 is the zip code, and we're talking about Brandon Oaks subdivision. I'm going to link another video I did specifically on Brandon Oaks and specifically top 5 neighborhoods in Indian Trail down below, so make sure you guys check that out. But in regards to Brandon Oaks, you are very centrally located. It is a master plan community. You're surrounded by a bunch of other houses. You have a pool, you have tennis court, you have playground, you have walking trails. You're right next to Sun Valley where the movie theater is. There's a couple different bars over there. You got a Starbucks, a Publix, a Harris Teeter. You're in Union County, so the property taxes are a little bit lower. But when we're talking about bang for your buck, Brandon Oaks is definitely a neighborhood you should consider. The median price point in Brandon Oaks for a single family is $445,000, with the average being $456,000. The homes in Brandon Oaks were built in the late 90s up until about 2010 to 2012. Within that mid $400,000 price point, you're going to be looking at about a 1,500 to 1,800 square foot house starting off. Now, you have houses in Brandon Oaks that are above 650,000 and they're 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. But again, I want to focus on kind of those starter homes. And Brandon Oaks is also connected to Holly Park. So it's 2 subdivisions essentially put together, and you just have so many options in this area. People go there because of the schools and all the amenities that you have nearby. Highway 74 is right there. Highway 485 is right there. So very easy for commuting purposes. And again, it's a very big master plan community. All different age groups of people in the area, and it's a very active community. If you drive by on a nice day, you're going to see people out and about, walking dogs, riding bikes, playing tennis, and people at the pool. Now we're going to move a little bit east of Brandon Oaks, and we're talking about Bonterra. Bonterra is one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Charlotte. It is a very unique neighborhood because Charlotte's so relatively new. Sometimes it's tougher to find areas and neighborhoods that have a lot of charm unless you're, spending $600,000-$700,000 for a teardown, or you're spending multi-million dollars and going to live in Myers Park, Elizabeth, or Dilworth. But Bonterra made the homes to look very southern. So you got the white picket fences. You got houses painted yellow, blue, green, all these different colors. You have the beautiful front porches. The neighborhood in itself, in regards to amenities, has everything. There's a horse stable once you enter one of the main areas of the community, and there's horses out there. They even have classes, so you can take your kids, you can pet the horses. They do a bunch of different events. It's a very scenic kind of neighborhood. Almost reminds me of like Edward Scissorhands neighborhood. That might not be a good example, but it just kind of reminds me of that type of neighborhood due to all the colorful homes. When it comes to amenities, pool, tennis court, basketball court, playground, you even have stores inside of the community. And you also have a mix of townhouses. The homes in Bonterra were built in the early 2000s up until about 2019 to 2020. And you also have townhouses to take advantage of, which are cheaper than the single family homes. If you're looking at a single family home, you're going to be starting around 440,000, and that's going to get you roughly about an 1,800 plus square foot home. The biggest downfall and or the feedback that I received from Bonterra is the lot sizes. The houses are pushed a little closer together, so you do have smaller yards and smaller lot sizes. A lot of them range from 1/10 of an acre to 0.15. If you're lucky, you can get one that's roughly about a 1/4 acre, which is a relatively decent size. But this neighborhood, all in all, it checks so many boxes. If you're someone looking for a newer home that's very charming in a very nice neighborhood and a lot of bang for your buck essentially with amazing amenities, and you have maintenance, but because the lot sizes are so small, you're not spending all weekend cleaning the yard. So Bonterra is definitely a neighborhood you should check out. Next, we're heading to North Charlotte, and it's in the 28269 zip code. Some of you, if you're subscribed, if you know, you can probably guess what neighborhood I'm going to say, and that is going to be Highland Creek. I've been talking about Highland Creek for years. I knew this was an area that was going to explode, and over the last 5 years, we've seen more and more activity in the area, more and more people moving to the area, and with the amount of construction happening nearby, you're seeing so many new shopping plazas, stores, restaurants opening up in the area. The houses in Highland Creek were built in the early 90s up until about 2010. And Highland Creek is actually the 11th best neighborhood in all of Charlotte to buy a house. The median price point in Highland Creek for single family home is going to be $444,000, with the average being $475,000. So the good news is this is a giant neighborhood, a giant master plan community. Multiple different pools, walk-in trails, tennis courts. You have a golf course that's in the area as well. And you can actually get a single family home starting around $350,000. Square footage is going to be about 1,400 to 1,500 plus square feet, starting at that 3-bedroom. And you even have houses in the $650,000 to $700,000 price range that are 3,000 to 4,000 plus square feet. I've been talking about Highland Creek for a very long time, and I still think to this day it's one of the best areas where you get the most amount of house for the money and the type of neighborhood that you get for the money as well. In regards to location, you're right next to 485 and really close to 77. So depending on where you are in Highland Creek, uptown Charlotte is anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Now let's head up a little further north to 28078 Huntersville. And this neighborhood is honestly a hidden gem. It is called Cedarfield. A couple of years ago, I saw a house in Cedarfield. It was all dark blue and the trim was baby blue. I showed it to a client. They were not interested for some reason, and I was looking at potentially buying this house myself. My wife works on the complete opposite side of town, and unfortunately, due to her drive time every morning, which would have been about 45 minutes, we didn't pursue it. But I fell in love with that house, and I fell in love with the Cedarfield neighborhood. So in regards to pricing, the median average price point is going to be about $465,000 here in Cedarfield. However, you can find a 3 to 4 bedroom house in the high 300s to mid 400,000s. It is a very cool community. They have a bunch of swim club meets. You have amenities in the area. And anytime I've spoken to somebody that lives in the area, they're typically people that buy a house and they don't move for a relatively long time. I think Cedarfield is one of Huntersville's, if not Charlotte's, best kept secrets when you're looking for more unique houses that are not cookie cutter, that just have a really nice feel to it. You're in Huntersville, so you have a lot of shopping, restaurants, dining. You're right off of 77. You have access to Lake Norman, and from Center City Uptown, depending on where you are, it's going to take you about 20 to 30 minutes on a good day. Most of the houses were built in the early 80s to the late 90s, so typically, based off what I've personally seen, Most of the houses that come on the market there, they might need paint and flooring. However, some do come up that are ready to move in, and typically those ones sell a lot quicker because people just don't want to put up with the hassle of having to renovate, even if it's only flooring and paint. Now, staying in Huntersville, this is another neighborhood that I like, and it reminds me of Bonterra because of the southern style homes, and that is Monteith Place. So Monteith Place, in regards to pricing, you're looking at a median average right there in the mid 400,000s. The houses were built in the early 2000s up until about 2012, but you also do have a couple new construction homes in the area as well. Location wise, it's really great. Again, you're in Huntersville. However, very similar to Bonterra, the lot sizes are small. You're looking at 0.10, a tenth of an acre, and or 0.15 in this area. So again, if you're someone that doesn't look forward to doing maintenance on a single family home, but you don't want to live in a townhome, Monteith Place is a great area to check out. Next, we're going down a little bit back to 28269, and this neighborhood is called Chess Hunt. Not Chest Hunt, Chess Hunt. So this neighborhood, you're looking at about an average to median sales price of $420,000. However, between $350,000 to $425,000, you can get a 3 to 4 bedroom home close to 2,000 square feet. So when you're talking about a bargain, when you're talking about bang for your buck, getting a 3 or 4 bedroom house starting in the mid 300s, close to 2,000 square feet in Charlotte is very tough. So Chess Hunt, you got a bunch of different styles of homes available. You have amenities, you have a pool, you have a tennis court, and you're located very centrally, UNCC, access to the light rail if you need it. And this neighborhood is definitely one that's slept on. Outside of it, you do have new construction, a lot of new construction coming up in the area in regards to single family and townhome, but those are going to be a little bit pricier. If you want an established neighborhood, I definitely think Chess Hunt is an area you should check out. And again, with all of these neighborhoods that I mentioned, you're going to find other neighborhoods nearby that most likely will fit the same criteria as the ones that we talked about. This video is not an end-all be-all. I can make a video of 50 to 60 plus different neighborhoods in Charlotte that might suit you under that $500,000 mark. Now, a couple honorable mentions. The Vineyards at Lake Wylie on the west side of Charlotte near the airport. If you're someone wanting a newer construction house, most likely it's going to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath plus right around 1,500 square feet or so, and you'll be in that $450,000 range. But the Vineyards at Lake Wylie, the amenities are insane. You have lake access. There is a boat dock where you can actually have a boat slip. Obviously, you have a pool, you have a playground, a bunch of walking trails. The pool, they have like a slide and everything. So when it comes to amenities, it's top notch. Located right next to Belmont, so a lot of people go to Belmont for their entertaining, restaurants, grocery stores, and things like that. Very easy access to the airport. You're probably not even 10 minutes away from that specific community. Very easy access to uptown Charlotte. And the whole west side of Charlotte is going through a big transformation. So the Vineyards at Lake Wylie is definitely a community you should keep in mind if you're leaning more towards new construction in that $450,000 price point. Next up, Autumn Woods in Mount Holly. This neighborhood is relatively close to 85 to the Whitewater Center. You got downtown Mount Holly within a 5 to 10 minute drive. It's a very homey area because you got a lot of the older houses outside of it, so it brings somewhat of a nice charm to it. Now you can find houses here in the low 300s. You're looking at about a 3-bedroom, 12, 13 to 1,400 plus square feet. The lot sizes are relatively good. You're looking at about a 1/4 acre plus, typically sometimes smaller, sometimes bigger. But when you're looking at houses in the 325 to 350 range, Autumn Woods is definitely a neighborhood you should keep in mind if you're looking in that Belmont, Mount Holly, or west side of Charlotte area. Lastly, Walnut Creek in South Carolina. Walnut Creek is a master plan community, and a portion of it is actually located in Waxhaw. So you're in Waxhaw, North Carolina, and then you're in Lancaster, South Carolina. Ton of shopping right next to 521, right next to downtown Waxhaw area. Here you're looking at a 3 to 4 bedroom, 1,500 plus square foot in the mid 400s. You have houses over there ranging in the high 500s as well. But when you're looking at houses under 500,000, you can either be in South Carolina, which has the lower property taxes, and or you can be in the neighborhood portion that is in North Carolina. I hope you guys enjoyed the video about the neighborhoods. I'm starting to lose my voice, so even thinking about doing a 2 to 3 hour video going over all the neighborhoods in Charlotte is kind of scaring me. But let me know what you guys think. If you want me to do another video with other neighborhoods, maybe in a different price point or keeping it under 500,000, let me know. If there's anything I can ever do for you, call, text, or email me anytime. I'm always here. I'm always happy to help. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.